Hi, my name is Karen Frischmann. I'm a Pilates teacher from Los Angeles, California, and today we are going to be talking about the Cadillac Springs. We're going to look at the comparison and some easy identification. So as you can see here, we have a lot of springs, a lot of different style springs, and many that look similar. So hopefully today we'll be able to take out some of the mystery. So I wanted to start with the setup for the springs for the Cadillac, and I think the easiest set of springs to identify are going to be the leg springs. So this is what we call either the standard or the light leg spring, and this is what will come with your Cadillac. You can tell it's a longer spring than an arm spring, so for comparison, this is going to be an arm spring. It has a wider barrel, has a little taper at the neck, and it has a loop up here. Now, if you decide to get the J-Pack accessory, which is sold separately from the Cadillac, you will then get the J-Pack spring, which is considerably heavier. So this is the J-Pack leg spring. This is the standard or light leg spring. That's the difference. So to hook them up, and we're going to put the standard set on, we have our two leg springs. We're going to put these double snaps on one end, and we're going to attach them to the leg spring setup on the rollback bar side of the Cadillac. And you can tell that because it has two eye bolts at the top, it has an eye bolt on the outside, and then one on the inside. And this is going to be your leg spring hookup. There we go. And then we're going to add the loops. These will also come standard with, or come with the Cadillac. All right, now we're going to move on to the arm springs. And in Contrology, we have three sets. Two come standard with the Cadillac. One of them is part of the J-Pack accessory pack. So we have the rollback bar springs, we have the standard arm springs, and the J-Pack springs. And you see, as you can see when I hold them up, they are remarkably similar. So I'm going to give you a couple of clues to tell the difference. So for the first, we're going to look at the comparison of the rollback bar spring and the arm spring. Again, that will come with your Cadillac. The rollback bar spring has a square taper to the end, so just a little bit of spring geekiness. That narrowing of the springs at the end will actually protect the hook. It's there to support. But you can see that the loop, which are two loops of spring flipped up on end, that attachment loop is going to be just two straight coils. On the arm spring, there's a little twist. All right, so you can see on this, there's just a little bit of the loop comes around, and that's really how we're going to tell the difference between the two springs. Make sure that your pairs are matched, that you don't have, one rollback spring and one arm spring together, because they are different weights and they are different extension weights. So those are those two springs. Now before I hook up the rollback bar, I want to add the J-Pack spring to the equation. Now this spring was based on a spring that Clara gave Jay Grimes. It is considerably heavier than these two. So if you put it on by mistake, you're going to know it. But you want to take a look at the ends of the spring. That taper is going to be much shorter. There are only 3 or 4 coils, and there's no twist. So that's how you're going to tell the difference between these 3 sets. Rollback bar spring, longer taper, no twist. Arm spring, same taper, twist. J-Pack spring, shorter taper, no twist. So I'm going to hook up the rollback bar so that we can get this out of the way. We're going to take 2 sets of the double clips, and we're going to attach the springs to the rollback bar. And we're going to get this up and out of the way. And then we're going to attach the standard arm springs. So the arm springs hooks are down on the push-through bar side, and we are going to, and I always double check my springs just to make sure I have the right ones. Good, and we are right here. And we have these clips. And then we're going to add the handles to the bottom. And we will be set up there. And then again, this is your J-pack, and the J-pack will come with a set of leg springs and arm springs. Now moving on, we're going to go to the trapeze bar and the push-through bar springs. They do also look remarkably similar. You will have 3 push-through bar springs and 2 trapeze springs. Now the way that you can tell the difference is that the trapeze bar spring is going to be a much heavier spring. So you can see that the wire is thicker, the coils are thicker, and you can even feel the difference. Like this isn't very bendy. This one is going to have a little bit more. And again, you can really tell the difference in the width of the barrel. So we're going to start with the trapeze bar springs. So again, we will only have 2 of them here. And we are going to clip them to the trapeze, again, with a set of double clips. I clip them to the outside so that when the feet are pushing against it, they're not going to hit the snap side. You know, safety is always first. And then we're going to take this and we're going to clip. Now we have 2 ends. We have one that's a little bit more open and one that's a little bit less open. All right, you're going to put the one that's a little bit less open down into the trapeze. And then we're going to hook it up. So when we go to hook it up, we're going to bring it and we're going to bring the spring into the eye bolt at the top. Okay. Generally, you can hook the springs up first and then attach the trapeze, or you can bring it all together. And then we're going to take these covers and we're going to slide it down. It's just both for comfort and for extra protection so that you don't get caught in the clips. And then from here, we're just going to move this out of the way. All right, trapeze bar lives down here, but we're now going to be working on the push-through bar springs. So you will receive 3 push-through bar springs. 2 are going to have sleeves, and one of them is going to have a clip. We call this a quick link. This is going to be your top push-through bar spring. These 2 are going to be your bottom push-through bar springs. So for the top spring, we're going to unwind the quick link, and we're going to add it up to one of the side eye bolts. There we go. And then we're going to tighten. Now make sure, you know, when you're using your Cadillac for best practices, you should really be checking your springs on a regular basis. Make sure that all of your attachments are secure. Make sure that your clips are in good shape. And make sure that your springs are in good shape. So here's the first one. Now for the 2 on the bottom, we have sort of a special setup. So you can notice that with these springs, they have a closed end and an open end. The open end is going to be attached to the Cadillac, and we have something special. These are going to be called wire stoppers. So I'm going to show you how to put those on just to make sure that your springs don't come off the Cadillac when they're attached. And then we're going to use these double clips to attach it to the push-through bar. So we're going to come over here. We are going to we're going to hook our spring through the eye bolt on the end of the Cadillac. And then we're going to take our wire stopper. So it will come with a very small hex wrench. It will come with these brass wire stoppers and a screw set, which are these little tiny silver things that are going to go inside. So what you're going to do is you are going to put the screw set in So it's always best to thread it on the end of your wrench first. I have my glasses on. There we go. So we're going to thread it like this, and then we're going to bring it through the end, and we're just going to bring it in just enough so that it catches, but not so much that it tightens up into the hole in the center of the stopper. Now this stopper is going to go over the end of your spring, just like that. And then we're going to tighten up that screw set, and that will lock the spring in place so that, oops, if we get the screw set in correctly, it will lock the spring in place, and then as you move it up and down or store it, it will not come off. There we go. Okay, so that's one, and let's do the other. This one already has its screw set in. And we're going to put it on the end of the spring and tighten it up. All right, so there we are. We're all locked into place. Now from here, we're going to take this collar all the way down. Now this is going to protect the vinyl of your Cadillac from the spring when it comes up and over for the tower and the monkey or the other exercises that you're going to use for those low springs. We're going to attach the double clips. All right, and here's your Contrology Cadillac. Thank you so much for watching.